Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while and the topic is head games that will drive him crazy. I'm in my mood today. I have the actual thing that I could have used to do a tutorial, like to show, but I'm not going to be so practical. So we're going to be using this to explain some things so that you understand, but I'm going to explain in a layman's language. It's been a while I talked about giving brain because it's always giving me issues. I almost lost my channel. My first tip trick will be lick it. When you're giving brain, it's about eating, licking, swishing, smashing, whatever language you can use, but never biting. First thing you should know is that you use the two lips, the tongue, the mouth, your hands, your throat, and never your teeth. There's something called foreplay. Building tension is big. If you want to give brain, you want to use it as an actual knacking, and you want to make him climax and come, you have to start with foreplay. When I say lick, you can just start with, licking like this. With your tongue. You don't involve your back tongue. Just here. Not a smooth surface. It's rough. Even when you run your hands around it, it's rough. So you running it on this gives a sensation. So you can start with licking. And you lick from bottom to up. For the first time you start, even with the saliva in your tongue, and the cold feeling makes it chilly. Kind of like feel a little bit of electric shock, especially when they are not expecting it. When you're licking, one tip or trick is focus on the top. Yes, you start licking from bottom to top, but pay more attention to the top. The cap, underneath the cap that joins it to the shaft, like the body. That place is very sensitive. And if the person is not circumcised, it still exists there. They are even more sensitive. Oh my God, makes it more pleasurable, because if they are not circumcised, they are more sensitive. The parts are more sensitive. So you pay more attention to that. So when you get there, you can actually play around there before you go back down and up. I don't know if I'm making sense. But if you're confused on anything or you want to understand any tip, you can talk to me in the comment section, so we'll continue our conversation there. I can at least write in detail. And one thing that people neglect is the balls. When they say giving brain, you don't just have to focus on the banana. The banana have 2 eggs underneath. It is as good as sensitive as here. It would pay off if you can pay attention here and also go down there to give it another. His balls are very, very sensitive. Some people don't even realize that that part is part of giving brain. That is what makes people very good at giving brain. Knowing the sensitive parts and playing with it, not just what you see in porn. I always complain about porn. In fact, I think I'm going to document a full video talking about porn, like the benefits and the disadvantages. You want to learn how to do this and then you're using it to teach yourself. Of course, you're going to learn wrong, because they are not teaching you the actual thing in as much as it's practical. Just the way you were licking this one is the way you can use your tongue. That place is not where you handle very roughly the way you can rough handle this one. You put it in your mouth. If you want to add more sensation, lick. And when you're doing that, you can actually use your hand to do this one. So you can imagine adding sensation here and also adding there. That's like double of what you were doing. I'm sure that will drive him wild. One thing that people don't realize is that when you're giving brain, dirty talk is very important. You can talk dirty confidently. You are more like in charge, and there's nothing much he's doing except you're doing 6-9. Talking dirty confidently, assimilating what you're saying, and it puts him more into the act. If you don't know how to talk dirty, I've created a video on how to, but if you still want me to create a content, an updated one on that, leave a comment in the comment section, and once just one person says yes, post a video about dirty talk when you're giving blowjob, I will do that. One thing is wetter is better because we think that being wet is mostly important when you're going in and out between the kitty harbor and the joystick harbor. No, it is also important when you're doing this. And I know that you think your spit is enough. Spit is very much enough if you know how to produce a lot of it. It doesn't matter if it's nasty. Sex is a nasty act anyway, for fun. Sometimes we find it very difficult to produce a lot of spit. That will be enough. But let me give you tricks that can help you to produce more saliva. If you know you're going down or that you'll be giving brain soon, you can chew gum hours before or minutes before you start. That will help you to produce more saliva. Eating a piece of juicy fruit will also boost you producing more saliva. Fruits like pineapple, strawberry, and peach will go a long way in helping you producing more saliva. The best is edible lube. Keep edible lube handy. You don't want to cause harm. You don't want to cause chafing. And ask your man, is wetter not better? Another trick or tip is kissing. You know how you kiss your man's lips passionately. That is the same way you can kiss this. I'm not talking about kissing the shaft or the body. I'm talking about here because hair is very, very sensitive. Or sometimes you can just use your hand to work on here while you use your mouth to play with this part because this part is the most sensitive one. Another tip is whatever you're doing, pay attention. Do not just bend down and focus on what you're doing and not even caring if they are liking it or not. Very important tip, communication. Whatever you're doing, when you're playing with the balls, when you're playing with the eggs, raise your head up and look and know how they feel, how they move. Are they moving far away? Are they coming closer? Are they wanting to grab or touch you? Are they gasping for air? Are they like moaning a little bit? What are they doing? All these things are communication. You should be able to know that, yes, I did something right. What is it that I did right? You can always revisit. That will help you to master how to give brain to your man. Because I can tell you, this is the best way to give brain. When you try it on your man, it doesn't work. But when someone else tries it on another man, it works. Another tip is that you should know that everyone is different. So when I give you this tip, it may not actually work 100% on your man. So when you use this tip, you watch your man and see how he reacts. And again, ask questions. When you're talking dirty confidently, you can ask questions inside there to know what they will say, to understand what they like and what they don't like. Another tip or trick giving brain is deep truth, but that's another topic for another day. But I've talked about it actually. It's not something that is easy for a lot of people to do, but a lot of men like it. Deep throating is more like, swallowing this and put it in down your throat. So if you know how to do this and avoid gagging, you can add it to your brain. But if you're not a pro, you can practice gradually until you get there. Next time we'll continue with other tips and tricks. Leave a comment for me in the comment section if you enjoyed this video or if you have any topic at all you want me to take care of. If you just want to say hi in the comment section, you're good to go. And I'm going to see you next time on the next one. Bye.